Hello, welcome to this update. So, for the U.S. and Canada, so in terms of severe weather, we are quite quiet in these days, but we have some heavy rain and tropical trouble to talk about, and also some heat and fire stuff. So let's see first this convective outlook for today. Some storms in the south and some on the Intermountain West, and for later and tomorrow. This is for day 3. For Tuesday, it shows some storms in the south and in the north. For tomorrow, Monday, some storms in the northeast. There in the central areas of the Rockies, the plains, and in the south. So nothing crazy in terms of severe weather, but if that tropical feature forms, we might have some outlooks for some tornado potential if it eventually comes towards Texas or Louisiana. But that's still far out. We can know for sure if it will form. But let's see. In terms of fire, we have an elevated in Nevada, parts of Idaho, Oregon and California, and some isolated dry thunderstorms possible today in Washington, Oregon and Idaho, even Montana. So be aware there. For tomorrow, we have an even bigger area of elevated, all the way from Washington to Montana, Wyoming, California, Nevada and Idaho. So be aware there. Some winds and hot conditions might cause some fire danger. And day 4 through 8, day 3 through 8 for fire threat, we have a day 5 outlook for Utah and Nevada. So we might have some fire trouble there in Utah and Nevada for day 3. So let's see now the rainfall and everything. So first we better see what's happening here, because it's now a 90% chance in A and a 90% chance of development in the Gulf of Mexico, near Mexico and Texas there. So let's see some models if it might try to come towards the US, and some rainfall later. So this is the GFS. It shows it there, getting to a tropical storm by Tuesday. And then eventually the GFS is too aggressive, I think, but it goes into Louisiana as a hurricane. But this is not very likely. The GFS is too aggressive, but let's see. The European takes a while, but eventually tries to get going and gets like a tropical depression or a storm there, maybe near Texas. And the Canadian has get into a tropical storm there, affecting a lot southern Texas with some rain, and going into Louisiana there as a tropical storm. So let's see the icon. We have the disturbance there, and the icon even gets like into a tropical storm. Yes, like a high-end tropical storm into Louisiana. So most models are pointing towards Louisiana there and Texas. So we'll talk in more detail in our tropical update later, and I talk about the rest of the Caribbean. So stay tuned for that. But in terms of rainfall for this, we see here like day 1 through 7, they already have like close to 7 to 10 inches near the Gulf Coast already. From this, and depending on its strength, this might be higher or lower. So today shows only in Florida, the southeast, and in the west. Tomorrow shows more in the west, already some in Texas. Day 3 shows more in Texas, Louisiana. Day 4 shows it moving towards Mississippi and Alabama there, Louisiana, as this goes in. And so this is probably the date of landfall between day 3 and day 4. If this forms, day 5, it goes further north into the US, the remnants, and some more in the northwest. Day 6, kind of scattered in the east and in the plains. Day 7, some more rain throughout the south and the east there. So let's see, today we have a marginal in southernmost Texas, a very small marginal, marginal in southeast and in the southwest too. So be aware of some storms there. Day 2 already is light in southern Texas. For tomorrow, be careful. A marginal in the west there for some afternoon storms, and a marginal in the southeast. Day 3, a marginal in Colorado, a big slide from Texas to Mississippi, and a marginal all the way to Florida, so be careful there. And this might get upgraded depending on the strength of the system later. Day 4 already a slight in Louisiana, Mississippi and Texas for Wednesday, and a marginal around it. Day 5 still a slight there, going north into Arkansas and Tennessee. So please, if you are in Texas, especially Louisiana, monitor this system very closely, and regardless if it develops or not, there might be a lot of flooding in some areas, in the areas that already had heavy rain, so stay safe there. Let's see here. So in terms of some heat, we still have, let's see if this works. It'll take too long. So we still have some hundreds in the southwest, even the California valleys, some 90s in the northwest and on the southeast. For tomorrow, still some 90s on the northern plains, in the southwest, some 100s and 90s on the extreme southeast there, some 80s. Day 3, so that was day 2, let's see, still some hundreds in California and Arizona, in Nevada, some more 90s there in the north, in Florida, and some areas of Tennessee and Kentucky. Let's see, this is Tuesday. Wednesday, some more 90s there, on the north, on the southwest, some 80s in other areas, and yes, and cooler there, where that system will be heading. Let's see, day 5 shows more 90s in the high plains, in the southwest and some other areas. Day 6 shows more, a little bit colder in the northwest, still some 100s on the southwest, and some 90s in many areas there. And alright, like some 80s in the north there too, so warmer there as well. So let's see. And the minimum temperatures for day 6 get all the way to the mid-low 30s there across some mountains of Wyoming and some areas, so be aware during the night and morning there. And day 7 for Saturday, so day 6 was Friday. For Saturday shows more 90s in the south, in the southwest 100s, and in the southeast too hot, so be aware. The max wind gusts for today shows like windier in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, some parts of California, Arizona, New Mexico, some gusty winds from time to time, and are in Texas from the system coming here, so be aware. Have some heat advisories in Florida, some beach hazards in Lake Erie and other areas there, and some, let's see, some heat warnings in the southwest and red flag and air quality warnings there in the northwest, so be aware. And let's see. So in terms of rainfall, the European model shows like, doesn't show tremendous amounts, but it shows like, let's see this in inches, shows around 5 inches coming to Louisiana from this system. Texas close to 7 inches near southern Texas, so be careful there. Houston close to 4 inches. Let's see, further north into Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, actually Tennessee, some 5 inches there, and shows other moisture in the southeast, some 8 inches in Georgia, so be aware there. The GFS has this stronger, going further east, close to 7 inches and 9 inches on the immediate coast, and shows it going to Mississippi some 6 inches, so please be careful there. The icon has going a little bit further west, like the European. Let's see if there's in inches. It shows like 8 inches there, going to western Louisiana, some 5 inches, so be careful. Some areas of 5 inches, southern Louisiana as well, but it has more Louisiana than Texas. In this scenario, it's more realistic here, so stay safe there. And let's see, for some other areas, the rain in the northwest there from that season next week, some in Canada, in Alaska, some rain southern Alaska too, a lot more in Atlantic Canada, and for Quebec, Labrador, in other areas. So in terms of storms there in Canada, let's see. I want to show some showers in British Columbia today, maybe some snow tomorrow. As a system form, shows another system near the coast and goes down to the U.S. there, and then goes like. But next Thursday, some more storms in central western Canada, another system on the coast by next Friday. So let's see. Central Canada, it's kind of quiet except tomorrow, so some showers and storms further north. But Tuesday, let's see, we start getting some probabilities of storms Tuesday and Wednesday near Hudson Bay. And then like Thursday, that system comes from the US and shows a bigger system heading through Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and up north there. It shows even some more systems by next week and early next week. There's still this system in Quebec, bringing some very heavy rain there, and this system passing just near Nova Scotia Monday and bring a lot of rain to Newfoundland on Monday, so be careful Monday. Newfoundland, a lot of rain, Monday the 9th, and more in Labrador, some more rain, some storms in Labrador, some snow in northern Quebec even there, Monday to Tuesday, so be careful in those areas there. The European has like some 2 inches, close to 3 inches in some areas, and in millimeters it shows like some 62 millimeters, and some areas might get more. The GFS has less, but might be around that value, so be careful there. The wind gust shows when the system gets there, shows very gusty winds around more than 60 km/h gust in some areas there, especially on some areas like St. John's, too, in hot areas, so be careful. And today there's still some gusty winds near Ontario and Quebec, New York, shows some other gusty winds there. And later it might be into Labrador and Quebec there, because of some other systems, especially Nunavut next Wednesday, because of that system coming down from southern Canada. It shows some more gusty winds in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Montana, some gusty winds, and then this goes north into northern Canada and gets very strong in Nunavut Wednesday, some gusty winds there. So be aware. The temperatures are still very hot, shows like still some 33 degrees in Saskatchewan, so be aware, but might be some colder weather at night, especially northern Quebec and Labrador. And then shows like this heat moves further east, like 27 degrees in Ontario next week. And yes, so in some colder weather, and stay safe, bye.